This is only the first stage. After this, I've got to basically grind out some of the old mortar so that we can leave space for the repointing, but I'm not going to go do too mad with that until the guys are here ready to start. Otherwise the wall might fall down. Meanwhile, on this side of the house, all the old horrible concrete render is removed. We pretty much filled a skip with it, and the next stage is going to be preparing this, and it'll be a 3 coats of lime render to give it a nice finish, and then a colour coat. After a week of the builders, Liam mainly has been chipping away and finalising the stonework ready to repoint. So he's cut back the old soft mortar, brushed it all down. Quite a few stones have fallen down in the process, and this is the first stage of what's called coining, where they're just going to put a border around of the lime mortar, so it'll be rendered. That's a sort of traditional way of doing it. In the process of doing all this, we just covered 4 big holes across all the same level, and we're not sure what they were for, whether they were from some original scaffolding holes when they built the thing, I don't know. Fair amount of air gaps, so there's a bit of foam being put in around the windows. And my job this morning has been to take an angle grinder and cut along here, feed some lead in, and then this is now just lead flashing just to make sure that stays fully watertight, and the guy can then point down towards the end of it. We've got to find a nice solution for the incoming wires, electrical wires, but yeah, we're sort of getting there. I mean, there's bits where it doesn't look quite so good, but old houses, we will find a solution, and the guys are keeping any decent stone to refit in where they can. When we started the job, we knew that the top of the door, the lintel was rotten. It was an old piece of wood which we think probably predated the house. It's probably a bit of an old ship, and when it came out it really was very rotten, so it was a good job. So there's now 2 concrete lintels in here, and again that's all going to be hidden by the rendering. Oh, I should have been taking a photo of actually. And now the structure. It's now the end of the first week of October, and it's incredibly sunny and warm, 20-something degrees. So the weather hasn't been kind to us so far, so progress has been slow. But the upper story, the coining, is now done around the tops, but the bottom along the plinth, it's now had 2 coats, so 1 more coat to go, so hoping that will be the next few days. And then it's the pointing, and we've got a sample bit of pointing done already, and we're going to go for this slightly sandy coloured pointing, and they do this right to the edge of the stone, so there'll be a really flat surface which it's never had before, which I think is going to look fantastic. The end gable, still with its scaffolding, has had 2 coats of render, and awaiting the last one. We're hoping that'll be this week, but it's a day of kind of full-on big team job to do, and before they do that I've got a bit of DIY to do. So the fascia boards here are, as you can see, completely rotten, so I'm replacing these and the ones, I've taken this one off at the front, and I'm using non-traditional PVC because it won't need painting ever again. So that's the next job. I've got to get all this off and then fit those. and this is the finished result. So PVC fascia boards all sealed.
So we've got entertainment from Liam, and while Simon is finishing this very difficult bit of coining.
Where is this piece from? What are these? No.
And Nick's doing the final coat of the render.
Yeah. Watch out, Nicky.
Going
after about nearly 3 months, we've got the job done. The render needs to have a coat of paint on it when it dries out, and we're using a special mineral paint that breathes from a company called Keim in Germany. as an alternative to lime washing, but we're really pleased. Simon and Liam found a couple of little fossils which they've added into the wall for us.